SuperBike Factory, which operated 6 massive showrooms and called itself Europe's largest used motorcycle retailer, has officially gone into administration. As of July 20th, 2026, the company has completely ceased trading. The doors are locked, the websites are locked down, and operations have ground to a halt. Right now, there are hundreds of riders left completely in the dark. You might have paid thousands of pounds for a motorcycle that was due for delivery. You might have left a hefty deposit. Your pride and joy might currently be locked inside one of their workshops for a repair, an MOT, or a failed part exchange. In this video, I'm stripping away the social media rumours and giving you the hard, real-world facts on exactly what you need to do right now to protect your money and get your motorcycle back. Let's start with the most stressful group. People who've paid for a motorcycle in full or put down a deposit and were waiting for a delivery that's never going to happen. How do you get your money back? Depends entirely on how you paid. First, if you paid even a single pound of your deposit or the full balance using a credit card, you are in the strongest position. Under Section 75 of the Consumer Credit Act 1974, your credit card provider is jointly liable if a retailer collapses. Reach out to your card issuer immediately, tell them the business has entered administration, and initiate a Section 75 claim to get a full refund. Second, if you paid by debit card, you're not covered by Section 75, but you are protected by the bank chargeback scheme. Call your bank right now and ask to raise a chargeback for goods not received. There is usually a 120-day time limit on this, so do not wait around. Third, if you've bought your motorcycle on a finance agreement, like PCP or hire purchase, contact the finance company immediately. Because the motorcycle was never delivered, the finance company cannot hold you to the contract. They legally own the asset, so they need to cancel the agreement and refund any payments you've made to them. And finally, the toughest situation. If you've paid by bank transfer or cash, legally you're now an unsecured creditor. You need to contact the Joint Administrators, that's KR8 Advisory, and log a formal claim. Now, I've put a link in the description box below. I'm talking to those of you who have a massive pit in your stomach because SuperBike Factory currently has possession of your motorcycle. Maybe it went in for an MOT, routine servicing, or a warranty fix. Here is the most important fact you need to hear today. The administrators cannot seize your motorcycle to pay off SuperBike Factory's debts. The motorcycle belongs to you. Legally, SuperBike Factory was holding it as a bailee. However, you cannot just turn up at any of the showrooms with a van and demand to get inside. The sites are shut down, security is active, and should you try to force entry, you're the one committing a criminal offence. So here's your real-world action plan. Gather your paperwork. Find your V5C logbook, your original purchase receipt, the SuperBike Factory booking confirmation email, photo ID, and take photos of them with your phone or scan them into a computer and make sure they are clear and easy to read. Then send an email to the Joint Administrators, who are KR8 Advisory, with your paperwork as attachments. State clearly that the company holds third-party property belonging to you. Provide the registration number, make and model, plus the SuperBike Factory outlet location. Attach copies of your proof of ownership. The administrators are legally obligated to formulate a strategy to return customer assets. It might take a bit of time for them to arrange controlled access days, but acting quickly ensures your motorcycle is accounted for in their inventory checks. Part exchanges. This is the most devastating part of SuperBike Factory's collapse, because there are guys and girls out there that no longer have possession of their motorcycles, and at this point you really do need to seek proper legal advice. And I'm not talking about commenting on a post on Facebook and 6 people tell you something. I'm talking about actually going and seeing a legal person. My take is, if you've handed over your old motorcycle in part exchange for a replacement, but you never received the replacement, you need to act the quickest. If the finance company or the administrators can't return the part exchange vehicle, its value forms part of what we'll call your financial claim. Mark this down clearly in your communications with your financial provider and KRA advisory. Here's the news you don't want to hear. They're not going to pay you the full value of that motorcycle, and it might not be the route you want to take, because secured creditors usually get 50% or more, whereas unsecured creditors, they usually end up with nothing, and in best case 10%. So if you ask for money, you'll become an unsecured creditor. That's how I look at it. So I think your motorcycle should be classed as held on credit because they haven't completed their end of the sales contract you all agreed and signed. And your legal representative will confirm or deny. You'll need to put in a claim to retain ownership of the motorcycle, citing it as unpaid for stock, claiming legal ownership, which you will need proof of. It should be viewed as unpaid for stock, but because you're just an individual, not a company, there might be a hoop or two extra to jump through. There might be a clause in the paperwork of the sale that covers ownership and non-payment. So go read your paperwork thoroughly, and if there is, you should be good, but it may take some time to get that motorcycle back or a financial agreement on it. Either way, look at your paperwork, because any of the clauses will make it easier for you, and then all that needs to be done is it needs to prove that no money left their account in your direction, and you guys can come to some kind of agreement. Warranties. So what happens to outstanding warranties now that SuperBike Factory has ceased trading? So if you bought a motorcycle from them and it came with a SuperBike Factory in-house warranty, that warranty is unfortunately dead. Because they've ceased trading, they won't be honouring any future repairs or claims. So if your motorcycle breaks down, you'll have to pay an independent garage or dealership to fix it at your own expense. However, if your warranty was backed by a major third-party insurance company that got paid for the policy, because I see some people took it out and SuperBike Factory never paid, it should still be valid. Check your paperwork and contact the provider. This whole episode has been an incredibly tough blow to the UK motorcycle community, especially for the hundreds of showroom and workshop staff who lost their livelihoods overnight. So don't panic, but don't delay either. Head down to the description box right now, click any of the links for Citizens Advice, KRA Advisory, and get your claims submitted today. If this video helped clear any of the confusion, give it a thumbs up, share it in your local riding groups so we can help as many affected motorcycle riders as possible. Stay safe out there, and maybe I'll keep you updated as more news unfolds.